Welcome back to Harbro Freight, quality videos, lowest prices, and we have the first Harbor Freight Black Friday deals out. There is a flyer, a physical flyer out. No digital flyer as far as I'm aware of, but we'll go over it. We'll do a deep dive into some of the prices. We'll give it the Harbor Freight flavor. If you find this useful, please consider liking and or subscribing. Consider hyping, and let's jump right in. But first, just a quick reminder. It's official, 15% off any single item for this weekend, 3 days only, October 31st to November 2nd, 15% off. Remember, I had the video that we just did a few days ago. Stack with instant savings. There should be a new instant savings starting October 31st. If you're ITC, you get early access, 15% off, 1 day early starting October 30th tomorrow. So that'll stack with the existing instant savings. So that's what we're looking for. As soon as the new instant savings and the new ITC coupons come out, I will let you know. But don't forget about this sale going on this weekend. But of course, what we want to go into is the Black Friday sale. Black Friday for ITC, of course, starts November 24th, 25th, 26th, and then everyone saves Thursday through Monday. Closed Thursday, possible online purchases, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, including the first for everybody else. So let's jump right in. We'll do some deep dives. We'll start off with the first yellow banner, 50% off, 4-piece pick and hook set, $9.98. 50% off, normally $20. The Harbor Freight hat, $4.96. Not free like we've seen it recently, but $4.96 is not too bad. Moving blanket, the 72-inch, $4.98, 44% off as well. 52% off the microfiber cleaning towels, the cleaning cloths. This is the 12-pack, so a $284. Not the 4-pack, the 12-pack, $284, 52% off. Great deal on that. And then we have an extension set, 41% off, $9.89. And then the 30 caliber ammo box, 57% off for $298. But of course, we're looking at the big heavy hitters. Of course, 40% off Icon Ratchets. I think the HARBROs have called it. If you're a HARBRO and you've been following along, we've had the sockets, we've had the wrenches, we've pretty much have had everything, and we were waiting for the ratchet. So 40% off. Unfortunately, based on what's been released, I can't read the fine print. This excludes something, and I can't tell what it is, and I don't know. I'm not sure what it could be. Excludes something. Enhance. It's not working. So, but 40% off Icon Ratchets is absolutely ridiculous. That is the best deal. I think even as one-offs, ratchets aren't going on sale. Icon Ratchets aren't going on sale for more than 20-ish%, maybe 30% in the past. So 40% is an excellent deal. That's ridiculous. That's as good as the deals are gonna get. Daytona, 30% off Daytona jacks. Now we have seen better sales than this as one-offs, and it was last year. It was this thing. It's saying September 28th, 40% off any single Daytona jack. Those are the unicorn days. Yeah, pretty nuts if you ask me. But 30% isn't bad. This is 30% off of any Daytona jack. And let's actually look. It could exclude the sets, but our most expensive G2 Icon ratchet is the 1/2-inch drive, the 26-inch long, $120, 40% off. You're saving $48. That's nuts. You'll get this for $72. So some deep discounts to be had with the Icon ratchets. But let's also look at Daytona. Price these high to low. And here's one that had crossed my mind. $300. Seems like this has gone up in price. We'll double check that right now, but it's $300, 30% off. You'll save about $90. So get this to $210. But I rarely see these aluminum racing performance jacks on sale. They'll have like some discount, but not a big discount. Only weighs 36 pounds, and that's the nuts part about it. 36-pound jack, easy to move. That's like a dream if you don't have to lift anything heavy. Quick, easy lifting. And what's the lift height? Just out of curiosity. Lift height minimum is 2 3/8 inch, and then lift height maximum 16 1/8 inch. So that's solid lift capacity. $299. What we got to be careful with is if these have gone up in price. And at least as of May, it did go up in price. It was down to $250 back in January, went up to $280 in April, up to $300 in May. So it's been like that for a few months. Looks like the best regular coupon had it down to $229. So outside of that 40% unicorn deal, saving $90, 210 we'll have it back to it close to its lowest price. So it's still a good deal on this Daytona if this is the one you're looking for. But overall, solid deals. You will see some higher discounts on some of them as one-offs, but unless you're super patient, you're unlikely to see it. And of course, the Super Duty at $290 also save close to $90. So get that for about $200, which again is a super solid deal. And we have Apache cases. Apache cases, 30% off is good. Don't get me wrong, 30% off is good, but Apache occasionally have done, and I would say fairly recently as well, up to 40% off all cases. And this was only back in July. This is 40% off all Apache cases, but it was only a deal of the day, so you'd have to be ready. But we have seen 10%, which is a good amount better. And again, that was only 3 months ago. They do it often. So anyways, okay deal on the Apache. We've seen it before. They've gone as high as 40%, sometimes even higher on one-offs. I want to say I might have even seen like a year ago 50% off Apache cases. Anyways, and then 40% off Hardy gloves. Again, solid deal. No complaining here, but same thing. These have been up to 50% off. I think it was in one of the 2 last parking lot sales. And here we go. This was only back in March where we had 50% off all Hardy gloves for this parking lot sale. Anyways, 40% again, not bad. 30% again, not bad. But we have seen higher. So these two I'm not so excited about because we've seen better recently. But again, beggars can't be choosers. But we'll continue. 40% off Ratchets is great. 30% off Daytona Jacks is okay. It's super solid. Same thing, Apache super solid, Hardy gloves super solid. And let's keep going. We got, of course, McGraw on sale, $50 off of the 20-gallon air compressor, normally $250, $199. That's 20% off. The 21-gallon, $175 PSI oil-free vertical shop auto air compressor, $40 off. This might not even meet our current minimum standard of 15% off. So at $280, $40 off of $40 off of $280. Brings us in at sub 15%, so only 14%. So that's a bummer. Not that great of a deal. $40 off of $400. Even worse for the 26-gallon 175 ultra quiet oil free from, I believe this is Central Pneumatic, $360. 10% would be $40 off. And that's basically what it's at. You're better off using the 15% this weekend or tomorrow if you're ITC. $129.99 for the Black Widow sprayer, spray guns, $50 off. That's not too bad, but you definitely see these get discounted pretty highly, pretty often. Earthquake XT, 1/2-inch composite air impact wrench, twin hammer, 1,200 foot-pounds, $65. $65 off for $130. That is super solid. Solid deal. The Central Pneumatic 3/8 inch by 50 foot retractable hose reel for $60, 33% off. Normally $90. Banks 18 gauge 2-in-1 Brad nailer and narrow crown stapler, 37% off, $25. Earthquake 1-inch D-handle aluminum air impact wrench, 8 inches extended anvil, pinless, 2,500 foot-pounds, $100, $180, normally $280. And then some premium welding gloves for $4, 42% off. Safety glasses available in smoke yellow or clear for 99 cents, normally $2. The professional Doyle retractable utility knife for $5.96, 33% off. Some hose clamp assortments for $4.98, 23% off. 7-function multimeter digital, $4.89, 38% off. And the 1,000-pound capacity hardwood dolly for $13, 27% off. And we'll keep going just so we see everything. This is the tactical LED flashlight, $7.96. 43% off. The 3x5 foot American flag. Of course, we know not available in Minnesota. 50% off, $492. 7 foot, what is that? 8 or 9 foot tarp, all purpose tarp. 41% off for $292. The Hex Shank 3-piece socket set. 74% off, $1.27. The indoor outdoor extension cord for $494, 29% off. And it looks like the Warrior drill bit set. What is that? 29 piece. $12.99, 35% off, and some more readable items. The 5-amp 9-inch variable speed drywall sander for $120, $50 off. These are going to be Bauer's 7.5-amp 1/2-inch variable speed hammer drill, 33% off, $30. 5.7-amp 6-inch 8mm short throw random orbit DA polisher sander for $40, 38% off. Hercules Alert, 15 amp, 42 pound, 1 1/8 inch hex lower wall breaker hammer with maximum vibration control, $100 off for $400. $40 off the titanium welding table for $150. Okay. $20 off the Easy Flux 125 amp welder at $130. Vulcan multi-process welder, $880. $220 off. It seems okay. Chicago Electric Flux 125 welder, $30 off, $90. Normally $120. We have some Viking, $25 off. Their 1000 peak amp lithium ion jump starter, $74. Normally $100 is okay. Vikings automatic microprocessor controlled battery charger, $60, 14% off, which doesn't make sense because we have the 15% off sale coming up. Liquidation sale, of course, up to 73% off. If you can stack, maybe this is later on in the week, if people are returning some of their items, always doesn't hurt to ask. Try to stack the liquidation with the percentage off of any of the main sales. The 1,200 pound capacity steel utility cart, removable sides, $30 off, $139.99, normally $170. Central machinery compactor with wheel kit, normally $700 down to $600, $100 off. Franklin's 900 pound capacity multi-purpose scaffold, $190, $40 off. The 700 pound capacity hand truck, 16% off, $50. Then we have some TV stands at $698. The 17 by 42 inch, 17 inch to 42 inch, 53% off at $698. And then the 23 inch to 65 inch down to $20, 42% off. Solid rubber wheel chocks for $498, 37% off. The 12-inch tool bag with 21 pockets, 50% off, $396. The disposable towels, shop towels, 43% off, $198. And then the comfort grip screwdriver set is at 70 piece, 23% off, $22.99. And we keep going. We'll start off again over here with the yellow ribbon. This is a security bit set, over 100 pieces. I think it's at the 130 piece. $698, 30% off. Ammo case, 44% off, $998. This is the extreme heavy duty tarp. Looks like the 6-foot variant, 39% off, $792. The mini funnels at 98 cents. This was on the dollar days recently, 45% off. And then a portable folding LED work light, 37% off, $496. And then a folding utility blade knife for $496 at 29% off. And again, back to some more readable deals here. We have the 3,500 watt super quiet inverter generator with CO Secure technology, $200 off of $800. So we'll check this because we just had the 20% off sale off of Predator. And let's see if this passes the smell test. $200 off of $800. I guess we didn't really need to do the math. That's going to be 25%. We did it anyways, 25% off. So definitely better than the 20% off. And then right next to that, we have the 5,000 watt dual fuel super quiet inverter generator. And that's looking like it passes the smell test. $320 off of $1,100, 29%. So almost 30%. So again, it's hard to gauge when you have an option of every generator, which ones are going to be on the next sale. Here, of course, they've included two, and both of them decently over the 20%, 25% and almost 30% respectively. Then we have the 100 watt super lightweight foldable solar panel, $30 off. I believe we've seen this deal, but not too bad. 6.5 horsepower chipper shredder for $500, normally $600. Badland ZXR 5,000 pound UTV power sport winch with automatic load holding brake, $150, $30 off. Kenway's 12 volt magnetic LED towing light kit for $20, 39% off. Hallmaster's 1,000 pound capacity 72 inch by 9 inch steel loading ramp set of 2, 35% off, $55. Pittsburgh's 1,000 pound capacity engine stand, $80, $20 off, 20% off. Pittsburgh's 15, maybe 1,300 pound capacity vehicle dollies 2-piece, $50, 23% off. Icon's professional adjustable seat with tool storage, a horrendous $100, normally $115, only $15 off. I think even the 15% off coupon would save you more. $15 off of $115 is only 13%, so that's a little bit abysmal. And plus, it was down to $69.99 recently in one of our sales, so I see it go down to that price often. So this is not good. 4,000 Rocket actually. Maddox ball joint service kit, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, 44% off. That's pretty good for Matics. Matics, you'll see those big sales 40 to 50% off, but 44% off is solid. $49.99, normally $90. Avanti's airless paint and prime stain sprayer, $60 off at $190, normally $250. That's okay. Always see Avanti with high discounts on any sale they do, and they do happen often. Union 10-gun key lock security cabinet, $50 off, $150, normally $200. That's pretty decent. The 1500-watt steam cleaner kit, Central Machinery for $90, $40 off. Last parking lot sale had the Grants steamer, which got some good reviews. The 3.5 cubic foot cement mixer, $70 off of $270, so $199 for the cement mixer. And then, of course, the classic 4-inch magnetic parts holder for $198. Thunderbolt batteries, 44% off. We just had 50% off recently, so that for Black Friday, I feel like they should have upped the ante. A lot of these things are good discounts, but to have better discounts previously and better than the Black Friday sales, it's throwing me off. The titanium step drill bits, $894, 36% off. The 4-foot linkable LED hanging lights, Braun, 26% off. Seen those up to 40% off, $17. Magnetic socket rail, 40% off. That's solid, $13. Normally $22. And is at the 12-inch pneumatic tire, 45% off at $492. And then last but not least, it's only a 4-page ad, which we've seen recently has been 5 to 6-page ads once the digital ad is released, but we'll keep going. Of course, we got the Creeper in Creeper Green, 30% off, $27.99. We got the cutoff wheels, 50% off, $398. Bauer. The Click Torque wrench, $12, 45% off, probably Pittsburgh. The magnetic tool holder, 41% off, $293. Yes, I can't tell what it is, but it's 25% off, $15. And then this one does look like the Braun 500 lumen LED rechargeable magnetic light, 40% off at $18. And we have the Yukon 46-inch 9-drawer mobile storage cabinet, $50 off for $300, 10% off. That doesn't seem like that good of a deal. $50 off of $350 is only 14% off. You can do better with the 15% off. So that's an automatic pass. That's a why wait for Black Friday and just get it this weekend. With a US General alert, $110 off for the 56 by 22-inch roll cab. This one is not, it's not passing the smell test. $110 off of $900. It's only 12% off. There's been 20% offs of US General, all US General storage. There's been 25% off within the last 12 months, 12% off, 56-inch cab. You can do better with the 15% off. But I would even say don't do 15%. Hang tight for when they do another US General 20% off sale. Maybe for the 12 days of Christmas. Mechanics tool set, 225 piece, $100, $40 off. That's not too bad. And that's a 225 piece. And the other Mechanics tool set, this is Pittsburgh, 301 piece, $30 off at $170, $200. That's a little bit worse. That you can get off. You don't have to wait for Black Friday. You can get that tool set this weekend. We have the Pittsburgh 3-ton low profile floor jack with rapid pump, $99.99. I think that's pretty solid. The Daytona 3-ton heavy duty ratcheting jack stands, 30% off at $35. Again, that's not bad. They go down as low as $25 and they go on sale often. So if you need some, you can get some, but just know they're going to be $10 cheaper probably within a few months. We got the Quinn Master Technicians tool set, 428 piece, down to $300, $130 off. That's pretty solid. $130 off of $430, 30% off. Yeah, that's pretty decent. We've seen a little bit higher discount, but that's pretty decent. And then we have the Quinn 3/8-inch drive 5 to 100 foot digital angle torque wrench, $32 off, $137, $170, $170 normally, and that's not too bad. We have Predator, 25% off, no math needed here. That's better than the recent deal, so that's solid. That's a 13,000 watt tri-fuel portable generator with remote start, $974, normally $1,300. And this is decent to see, with the exception of, let's see, the 350 watt Predator power station at $250, $30 off at $280 normally. But what we're gonna see here is that's only 10%. So why wait for Black Friday when you could do a weekend 15% off any single item and save $42 instead of the $30? That's nuts. Terrible deal. We have the US General 30-inch 5-drawer mechanics cart, $200, $80 off. That's solid. It has gone down recently to $190. Relatively recently, I think within the last 12 months was maybe just below that. But $190 is the number, and this is basically there. So if you're waiting, I mean, I think this $199 was also recently. So this Black Friday deal isn't better than any of the recent deals, which is a little bit of a head scratcher, but it's still a good deal. Badlands ZXR 12,000 pound truck SUV winch with wire rope, $270, $80 off. That relatively passes the smell test. That's pretty good. Badland 3-ton off-road jack. Okay, $100 off of $280. I mean, off of $380. But if you're like me and you're a HARBRO, you know there was a huge increase in price on these Badlands not too long ago. And as you can see, it used to be originally priced at $299. That's nuts. But that was back in 2022. In 2023, it went up to $320. And it flirted with other prices, but essentially stuck at $320. Crazy deal back last Black Friday was down to $250. We're not going to see that again. It was Black Friday and an ITC coupon was down to $250. And then, of course, in April of this year, they've gone up to as high as $400 because they released the 1.5 ton. And then in June, they're like, hey, that's too expensive. Let's lower it down to $380. So that being said, down to $280, a little bit less than its original price, is a solid deal since it's gone up in price so much. But it's always a little bit of grain of salt knowing how cheap or how affordable this 3-ton jack used to be. Hercules 20-volt brushless cordless half-inch compact 4-mode impact wrench with friction ring tool only. 28% off, $50. Hercules alert, of course. And we have Bauer, their new 1.2 gallons per minute portable electric pressure washer. That's good to see here. And I love the price. It's very nice, $69.99. This is one of their brand new tools, $50. $120 is, let's verify this. Let's go to new tools because we know it's a new tool. And look at this. Aren't we in for a pleasant surprise? We have a new Daytona 3-ton low-profile Super Duty floor jack. So in this case, that 30% off. Do they have it here? Is this like a giveaway? Did we know the green one was coming? 30% off of their brand new metallic green Super Duty floor jack. It's nice. That's good to see. And I see a couple new tools. So we're going to take a quick digression here. We have a brand new Franklin, $100 utility cart, a new Franklin stepping stool, new Daytona magnetic universal jack pad pinch weld adapter, $13. Maddox hood tailgate support clamp. And then we're back to our normal new tools. But we're looking for the Bauer 1800 PSI 1.2 gallons per minute. And again, if you're a HARBRO, you know your prices. This is currently $100. Brand new, probably won't have a deal anytime soon, which is what we think. And it's great to see it on our parking lot sale, but our Black Friday sale, but our Black Friday sale is saying this is $120. So I don't know if that means they're going to raise the price on this. $20 coming here soon in the next month. So the $50 is a little bit fake. $30 is still really good. Getting it down to $69.99 is really good because the best you can do right now with this weekend is get $15 off of $100. You'd get it for $85, but here you're going to get it for an extra $15 off. So hate to see that they're going to raise the price or that the price is just wrong. But I love to see $69.99. Not only is it nice, but it's a great deal on this pressure washer. So this is definitely a must get if you're looking for something like this. Avanti handheld HVLP paint and stain sprayer, $35, 50% off. Super solid. And then the last yellow tag, we have the Flux Core welding wire, 36% off, which we've seen these at 50% off, but that's not too bad, I guess. The 1500 watt dual temperature heat gun, 50% off, $996. Some plastic fastener kits for automobile, 240 piece, $998, 44% off. 500 pound capacity, 1-inch ratcheting tie downs, 4-pack, 33% off, $998. Some 8-inch cable ties, 100 pack, and 98 cents, 60% off. And then the HVLP gravity feed, air spray gun, 47% off, $888. What do the HARBROs, this is the important question, what do the HARBROs think of this current Black Friday sale? We've seen changes. Once the digital flyer is out, we'll review it. But what do you think? 40% off Ratchets, Icon Alert, obviously great. 30% off Daytona jacks is really good too, especially with the new Daytona jack in green. 30% off Apache cases, I'll be honest, is all right. But they have these Apache cases on sale so often for more percentages than this, so it throws me off. And then same thing for Hardy. Within the last 12 months, we had a 50% off. So you would just think Black Friday would be the time to have bigger sales than the sales you've had all year. But maybe Harbor Freight's thinking a little bit different. Either way, let me know what you think. Let me know what you're gonna get. And as always, happy Harbor Freighting, happy shopping. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm super curious about this. And as soon as I have some more deals, I will send them your way.